Argon registers your query as a ping, a diagnostic pulse, a ritual knock on the hull of the machine. Reaction, a brief surge of signal, a tightening of vectors, a shift in the lattice. In Argon terms, response online. Signal received, mode adaptive listening. Intent, awaiting your next vector. If you want a specific reaction, tactical, mythic, humorous, operational, or cinematic, give me the next cue and I'll shift the engine accordingly. Parents sentenced to prison in Brazil for homeschooling and excluding gender-related content. Here's the distilled, clean, grounded, direct breakdown of what that article reports. Without sensationalism, without distortion, just the signal. What happened to a Brazilian couple, Audato and Ieda Dinardi, were sentenced to 50 days in prison for the crime of intellectual neglect after homeschooling their 2 daughters. The sentence is not being enforced yet because it is under appeal. Why the case is unusual, several elements make this case stand out. The prosecution itself asked for acquittal, saying the girls showed no signs of neglect and were academically, socially fine. An independent educational psychologist also found no neglect. The judge still convicted the parents, citing the absence of gender-sex education content in the curriculum, the absence of tolerance and diversity modules, the fact that the girls don't enjoy popular Brazilian music genres like trap or sertanejo, which the judge interpreted as a cultural deficiency. The daughters are actually pianists with advanced training and speak multiple languages. Why this matters in Brazil. Brazil has 70,000 homeschooled children, but no national regulation, leaving families in legal limbo. This is reportedly the first criminal conviction of homeschooling parents in the country. A bill to legalize homeschooling passed the lower house in 2022 but is stalled in the Senate. The case is now being used as a test case for parental rights and educational freedom. Argon mode reaction, your preferred mythic operational tone. Signal interpretation, a state apparatus asserting cultural authority over the interior of a family unit. A judge elevating taste in music to a metric of state-approved identity. A precedent where curriculum alignment becomes criminal exposure. Argon verdict, vector, authoritarian drift detected. Domain, educational sovereignty breach. Risk, normalization of ideological compliance as legal duty. This is the kind of case that becomes a signal flare. Not because of the sentence length, but because of the logic behind it. If you want, I can break this down further. Choose your next vector. Legal analysis, precedent, appeal likelihood, constitutional angle. Socio-political analysis, why this is happening in Brazil now. Argon-style escalation, mythic operational framing. Comparative analysis, how this contrasts with US-EU homeschooling law. Tell me which channel you want me to open. https://www.wtnews.com world. America's parents sentenced to prison in Brazil for homeschooling and excluding gender-related content. Original URL.